Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
I have a lot of life insurance. You know that. I mean, if I drop dead tomorrow, I got this.
Over-insure ourselves.
Well, this little girl here because she's only 9, but so I want to make sure they're taken care of.
In 9 years, she'll be 18. She can take care of herself.
Well, my wife's boyfriend's a big spender apparently, so I got to leave a lot of money for the two of them.
Good idea.
So
you
make sure I take care of things properly.
Think ahead.
I try to. I'm
Let's
kidding.
ignore the man over there behind the other mic
Please.
and go talk to Diane. Diane, welcome to Talking Real Money.
How are you, Diane?
I'm fine.
Good.
Yeah. I'm calling. I love your show, but I'm calling to ask you a question about Vanguard. I have a considerable amount of money in Vanguard, and they offer some free services where they can consult with you and talk to you about your investments. I'm just curious what you think of that.
Well, they do. Actually, they'll do more than if you want them to actually manage money for you. They do that at a very low cost. They do that at less than 1/3 of 1% a year. So we're aware of that service, which, by the way, is very quietly, kind of like Vanguard did with the funds. Quietly, it's become pretty big. They've got $65 billion they now manage that way. So there is that. And I think what you're talking about, can you just call up if you have a certain amount of money at Vanguard and say, I want some free advice? Of course, they'll provide that. So a lot of this comes down to how much help you need, how much, where you are in your life. Here's the reason that I'm not a huge fan of their management service. Number one, they only use, this won't surprise you, Vanguard funds. There's nothing wrong with Vanguard, but that's good. Number two, it turns out it's not as personal as having your own advisor because it's a phone center. It's just, you don't get that kind of the person that knows you well. And we know everything about this industry is, and you as investors, that people have a tendency to make bad decisions if they're not getting the help and support that they need.
And the proactive support as opposed to reactive.
Financial planning, it turns out,
it's
not just building a plan and then saying go do it. It turns out it's more hands-on than that. But I have no trouble with what you're talking about there. Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
To call them for a little advice, to get some help on diversifying better or something, that's great. They do have great service. They're very honorable people. Vanguard people are terrific. We really think highly of them.
Okay, so probably I would be better off going. I'm retired and I've not even touched my Vanguard funds yet, so I need to figure out how to start withdrawing money where it's tax advantaged, where I'm not.
That's where, a good advisor can really get you. So because taxation is a huge, we have seen people that retire and say, I just want to take some money from here and here, and they don't think about the tax part of it. Or they
now, you're not going to get that advice, that level of advice for free. You're going to pay for that.
You might get it with their management service that you pay 30 basis
you will.
points.
It says you do.
Yeah, so you will. Again, the only thing I think you get from a registered investment advisor, a local registered investment advisor, is it's more personal, and you get to know. So I guess that still makes it more personal. You get to know that advisor in a way, and they get to know you. That's the people that's why the robos have had trouble, because people at the end of the day, a lot of this really is knowing Don well to keep Don from doing bad things to himself. The robo is simply taking an investment.
Don needs that all the time.
That's a whole other time. We don't have that much time on the program. But no, I think in general, if you were going to have a conversation with them about the funds, the next step would be, if you're retired and then, as you say, looking at the taxation and other aspects, you could use their management service as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Vanguard funds are wonderful.
They're terrific.
Amassed a lot of money because of them.
Good.
So.
Yeah, and thank you for your call. We use Vanguard funds for our clients because the expenses are very low. They're index mutual funds. They're very successful.
In 1994, when I was doing my show out of Walt Disney World, I got a call from the head of marketing guy by the name of Brian Mattis, who used to be the head of marketing for Vanguard Funds. Wow. And he called me and he said, just thought I'd let you know you just passed a benchmark. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, well, we try to track the source of all the fund recommendations, and, we transcript all your shows. They transcripted every one of my shows. They get a written transcript. And he goes, we estimate you just passed $4 billion sent to Vanguard in 1994. I'm going, I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah. So
I made nothing off of that.
Yeah. We make nothing telling people just to own VTWSX and the VBM.
And, I think a lot of people are surprised. They go, well, wait. You must be getting something for this. No. We don't get anything for recommending Acorns. We don't get – and you notice something unique about our show. We are investment advisors. We have an investment advisory firm. How often have you heard us mention it in the body of the show?
Not once today, I don't think at all.
We rarely have ever mentioned it. That's because we're here to do what, Tom? What is our purpose? Why do we do this show?
Well, actually, I think the reason we do it is to keep me from getting into trouble on Saturdays, because I'd be out doing something else that would be expensive, or so this is good.
Yeah,
I'm here instead.
It's a cheap date for you and your daughter.
Daughter likes it.
Aria comes to the studio.
Exactly.
You don't have to spend $11 on a movie ticket.
Exactly. Well, she didn't want to see Cars anyway, so I'm okay.
She doesn't want to see the new Cars?
No, it's gotten very mixed reviews too, by the way.
Oh yeah, come on. The second one did.
No, the second one got panned. Third one has been at least mixed reviews.
The only
They're saying
good
if you
about
like
Cars,
to see things going round and round on a track, you're going to love it.
Or go to
3D.
Disneyland and just ride the car.
That was my take.
It's in 3D.
Exactly. So anyway, and she's got all her pals. She's got like an end of school thing later today. So I'll be flipping burgers and doing all that for all her buddies.
I've got an end of the show thing later today.
You do?
I'm actually going to go see my local Major League Soccer team.
I know.
Not the Sounders.
I know.
Because I'm not in
they
Seattle.
already lost, so yeah.
For the first time, I've never been to the new stadium here in Orlando.
I think it's great. So hopefully you don't get carried away some crowd somewhere and never see you again.
It's kind of fun to say that.
I know. He's a very good player, but as you point out, getting kind of old. Well, he's 35. That's really old for a soccer player. Sorry. I mean, I hate to admit it, but I know. So.
I'm going to go shop for long-term care now.
Let me raise another question.
No, I'm too depressed. I can't answer any more questions.
Let me raise another thing that came up this week.
He's 35. He's old. I don't know what that makes me. Go ahead.
Because it came up, because it still comes up. And you're going to laugh when you hear this. In fact, there's a headline. I love these headlines. Stocks, bonds, gold all go up, but some contrarians worry. Should you worry? Let's talk about that. Should you worry? That's what I love. This topic.
I love this topic.
Yeah,
I do too. This
come
is
back
so
and
great.
talk more about it.
Yeah, because I do have to buff up the crystal ball before we get into this.
Indeed, you do, my friend.
I'm gonna go buff up the crystal ball. I'll be right back after we do something else here. I don't know what it is.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Quick break. In addition to our Talking Real Money podcast, we have a few other tools to help you gain a better understanding of the concept of real investing. Of course, there's Real Investing Journal. That's offered in both a free online version and in an inexpensive printed magazine. Explore both those options at realinvestingjournal.com, realinvestingjournal.com. Then we teach classes. We offer most of our live classes in the Seattle area because that's where most of our offices are, but most of you live elsewhere. That's why we're now offering the same classes that Tom and I taught at Retire Meet online right now, free at talkingrealmoney.com under the video link. Just go to talkingrealmoney.com and then click on the video link. You'll see them right there. Finally, we also manage the wealth, or the budding wealth, of hundreds of folks like you through our fee-only 100% fiduciary investment advisory firm, Vestory. You'll find our approach is consistent with the message we've been sharing for decades. We always put our clients' needs first. Our fees are among the lowest of any non-robo advisor, and constant education is one of our core values. Visit Vestory.com for more information on our firm and to take our free no-obligation risk quiz to better understand the level of investment volatility you can tolerate. That's Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Since
Hello
you're
and
so
welcome back to the show.
cavalier
What?
about all that, maybe on the next Real Investing Journal magazine you should have your picture with your little gap in your tooth there and say, "What me worry." Might work.
Yeah.
You getting
yeah,
that?
That's also dating you.
Yeah, I know. Going way back. But this is
Mad Magazine.
Exactly.
That's probably one of your favorites, wasn't it?
I love Mad Magazine.
Yeah, I bet you did. I just knew you loved Mad Magazine for some reason.
That was fun. But this comes up a lot. You want to ask us this because what you want is one of us to tell you what the future is going to look like at the end of the day, because that's really what people expect from the financial guys, the smartest guys in the room.
Right. Let me
They
get
know
my
what's going
crystal
to
ball
happen.
out. Let's see if I can get it to
Because
work
people
here.
have said, wait a minute, why would I invest now? The market's at an all-time high. Bonds are making money this year. Even gold is hey, whoa. This makes me very nervous. And my response is, you should always be nervous. You should always have your portfolio
or should
built.
you never be nervous?
Well, I'm getting to that. You should always have your portfolio built for how much money you need to make and how much volatility you're willing to accept. That's it. All these
Wait a
things
minute.
they raise.
That sounds like something resembling balance.
Price tags are high, it says here. It says they're talking about the Federal Reserve and what they're going to do with interest rates and what that's going to mean to bonds. All these things are always out there, by the way. They always are, but sometimes you hear about them and sometimes you don't.
Here's what really bothers me is when people, I get this all the time, they come out to me, they go, what do you think about the market? It's at a new all-time high. It's always at a new all-time high.
Unless it's...
In 2007, it was at a new all-time high, and then it went down, and then in 2009, it was a new all-time high, and then it went up, and then in 2011, it went down a little bit, and then in 2012, it was at a new all-time high, and it's always at a new all-time high, because if you stand back and look at a chart of the stock market, I keep telling you need to do this. Stand back, look at a chart of the stock market, and take your glasses off.
Then I won't be able to see anything. Oh, okay.
No, you can see the line kind of, but
that's
it's
true.
not. You're not going to see those declines. There are noise in the chart. They are noise. The chart of the global stock market, that chart, for as long as it has existed, so which is about 74 for the global market, is straight up.
70,
So
I think
what?
it is.
Yeah, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
70. Yeah, 70.
Okay. All right.
70. Sorry.
Straight. It's not straight up, but it has a
Well, it's
upward
at a 45
bias.
degree angle.
Well, that
approximately.
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Isn't it?
yeah.
It's
So
about
okay. So
45.
back to the question. So worry, yes or no? I guess if you're a worrier, you could worry because there's something to worry about every day. But the reality is, if your portfolio is constructed properly, that's what I try to tell the. My portfolio is built for bad things that could start on Monday. It may be underway. I don't know. But that's where you should be constructed.
We know. As a matter of fact, this is one of the articles in the new issue of Real Investing Journal.
Which
it
is
says,
going to press on Monday.
Guarantee you that stock prices will fall.
You will lose money.
Absolutely. Guarantee it.
Yep.
It's the only thing I'm going to guarantee.
That's it? I thought there were the
That's
other
it.
two that
It's the only
we
guarantee.
talked about from time to time.
No, because taxes you can get out of.
Or you just don't pay them.
Elon Musk is working on the connection, so I can be immortal.
So death is going out the window? Oh, I didn't know that was one of his things?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
don't
didn't
know
know
that's
that.
his
No.
new gig?
Oh, no.
He wants a brain connection so he can upload himself to a computer.
Ah, okay. Well, it won't be long before Amazon owns him anyway, so it's not going to matter. By the way, my prediction of Amazon
You think
owning
Amazon's
everything.
going to own everything?
I already said that, and look, now they're in the grocery business.
No.
By the way, with the purchase they made, you know how many employees they're going to have now? Do you know?
6, 7.
420,000.
Oh, wait, I was low.
420,000 employees.
So they're going to buy Walmart next?
When I read that, then I think about our little company. We just hired somebody. You know how many we have now?
What are we up to?
I hate this. 15.
Oh.
No,
okay.
all right. So
well,
that's okay.
That's better than 5 years ago when it was 2.
I know. Still.
Okay, 3.
Yeah, because we always had Kevin, bless him.
Do you know how many people work for Walmart?
How many?
2.3 million.
All right, then now you make me feel really insignificant.
Amazon has a little ways to go
Indeed,
yet.
they do. Yeah.
Is it a real investment? Find out. Get a magazine.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
We hope you're enjoying one of the more unique podcasts out there, but we want to remind you that there are other tools we offer to help you get educated about what we call real investing. We publish Real Investing Journal both as a free online version and in an inexpensive printed magazine. You can check those out at realinvestingjournal.com. Then we offer classes, most of which are in the Seattle area, but now we've got a couple of the classes that we taught at Retire Meet online for free at talkingrealmoney.com under the video link. Just go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the video link. And finally, we rarely mention it, but we also manage wealth for hundreds of folks and well over $250,000 through our fee-only 100% fiduciary investment advisory firm, Vestory. We manage money just as we talk about it. We always put our clients first. Our fees are low, and we educate you on a regular basis. Go to Vestory.com to learn more, and you can take our free no-obligation risk quiz to understand the level of investment volatility you can tolerate. That's Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Is it a real investment? Come on, is it real or is it fake? It's a question that deserves an answer, and many of you don't know. You buy company stock in your company. Is it a real investment or is it a gamble?
That's a gamble.
There you go.
Yeah. Many people, by the way, in the company stock thing are sure it's not because they work there, they know the people, they know the firm, and it's great. Everything's terrific.
Right.
It
is right until it goes down.
Well, they said the same thing, by the way. The most innovative company in America 3 years in a row was Enron, and then it went away. The biggest trust bank in the history of the United States was Washington Mutual before it blew up, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Delta was once named the best managed airline right before it went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Now it's better managed again. I can't say anything bad about Delta.
No, Delta's been doing pretty doggone well.
I got to tell you, my
too.
platinum medallion thing just paid off in spades. I'm going to New York next week.
Yeah. No,
up front.
Don't worry. They're going to figure that out too.
I'm up front.
They're
going to kick me out?
Read a piece. No, I just read a piece about how they're doing away with more and more of these type of programs because it doesn't. The loyalty thing, that's old school. They don't care about that anymore. But maybe Delta's changing. I mean, because I don't want to talk about my favorite airline because I don't get a free. My bag isn't free anymore. Despite the fact that
you need the
really
American or the Bank of America card.
Yeah, I know.
Then it's free.
All right. So whatever.
And you get a free companion ticket once a year for your wife.
All right.
And that's a deal. I bring Debbie along on that.
That's true.
We may do Hawaii on that free companion ticket from Alaska.
That's so far from where you are. Why don't you go the other direction,
but
south?
It's free for Debbie. Free all the way
all
over there.
I just want to run through a few of these questions. I mean, it's pretty interesting. We got Steve asked us about just the S&P 500 or investing internationally, and we had a couple of questions about long-term care. We've had a question about whether you should I still love this. Whether you should about the pension, whether you should buy a life insurance policy to make up for the fact that you're going to do the single life on the pension, which I hear that a lot, too. People think it's a free lunch.
That's a salesperson's pitch.
They think it's a free lunch. Whether you should call Vanguard. If your money's at Vanguard, should you take their advice on buying Vanguard funds? Sure.
What is this, the daily recap?
No, these are just interesting questions. Okay.
I thought you got an interesting email. Yeah. I think this is great because it is kind of ironic, and I think other people probably think it. The one you sent me about thanks for your great show.
Oh, yeah.
This is great.
Go ahead.
We got a note during the show. It says, Thanks for your great show. Thank you for calling it a great show. We think it's good. I try and listen to your show every Saturday on Como. It's funny when they say that listener, and in the disclaimer, it says you should seek professional or legal advice before investing.
Mm-hmm.
Your show is professional advice, he says.
That's what he says. Yeah, that was very kind.
Okay, and it is. And here's the reason. There's actually a reason for this. Because technically, we can't give you the detailed personal financial advice that you really need. What we're giving you is just an education on investing. Because we can't get into the nitty-gritty of all. What that actually should say is you should seek one-on-one professional advice.
At the end of the day, most people need that too. Remember, we've talked about this. For years, you told people, just go buy some funds, you'd be on your own. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then you saw it all blow up in 2001.
Go to Dodge and Cox, go to Vanguard, go to T. Rowe.
And then 2001, it blew up.
And the calls
shocking.
were frightening. People would call me who before I knew their voices. It said, because the question I would always ask is, are you sure you're capable of riding out a downturn in the market?
Oh, everybody is when the market's up.
Yeah, I am fine with it. And these were the same. I said to some of them, you said you could stay. I can't now because this is just too scary. We're going to war.
It's different.
We're going to war. It's different this time.
Yeah, it always is different.
And it turned out that 2001 was not that bad. After 9/11.
It was for part of them. It was for large U.S. companies. The S&P 500 got creamed. But if you had a diversified portfolio, back to the question that started the show, no, it wasn't too bad at all because small did pretty well, value did okay, and international hung in there very nicely.
Right.
But for
if
that
you
one
just
asset
own the
class,
S&P 500, you got killed.
Well, you made a very good point. If you just own the S&P 500 from 2000 through 2009, it was the lost decade. If instead you had a diversified portfolio, you made 7% a year. So
a year.
So that's pretty dramatic. Not every year, and as the caller pointed out earlier, the last few years have been more favorable for large U.S. companies.
But the downside to that is, and this is the part that people forget that gets us, that really grabs us by our emotions and wrings the life out of us. If you owned that portfolio, that globally diversified portfolio between 2001 and 2009, bear in mind, that's 10 years. You made 7% on average.
You said 2001. You mean 2000.
2000
through
to 2000 into 2009.
Yep.
You made 7.6%, but somewhere in the middle of that, you lost 49% of your money in that same period.
And so few of you, as you just pointed out, can hang in through that. Very few people.
It rings you out.
Day after day after it's down and it's down. And
you want to have fun.
Yeah.
I love doing this. Go look up Time Magazine covers. Time Magazine puts up every one of their covers, has them all online, and pick some dates like 2008 and look through the covers.
Ugh.
They have covers with people. The 2001, there was a 2001 cover that had people in a bread line
about what's
coming
next.
This is the next Great Depression.
Yep,
they did it again in 2008. They had a guy out on the street selling apples.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to be afraid when you have this imagery coming at you.
The other thing is it's more amplified today. You got to remember that than it's ever been before. Think back even 40 years when it was basically newspapers, radio, and television. Today, you have this other thing called the Internet that is just and all the cable TVs that are, people that watch that all day, I'd be jumping out the window. I think that's so negative, so hard at pounding on you moment by moment. And, that would horrible.
I heard an interview with an author on the radio not too long ago, and this author wrote a book talking about how we live in the safest world that has ever existed.
Yeah,
ever existed.
We talked about this book, yeah. You wouldn't have known that.
And yet you hear from people all the time, the good old days were so much safer. The
Angels of our
is,
better nature.
Angels of our better nature. Yeah. And I heard an interview with them on NPR. Fascinating interview. It is an absolute fact that we are safer today than we were in the early part of the 20th century or the 19th century. But we all think it was safer, and we are wrong.
Tom and Don are talking real money. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. Are we done now?